Hello, everyone. Eddie here again, and today I want to talk about that dirty word, reparation. Most of us should know what reparations are, but just a brief overview for people who probably don't know. Reparations is something that African Americans have been considered as one thing to make right for over 400 years of slavery. It basically means giving them compensation for that time period. And even though obviously none of them are still alive, it extends to their descendants. But that's not actually the reparations I want to talk about. I'm going to read a news article from Newsmax. Steve Bannon, a White House strategist in the first Trump administration, said Monday during his War Room podcast that Americans who lost jobs to immigrants using H-1B1 visas should receive reparations. So, Steve Bannon saying Americans who lost jobs to immigrants using H-1B1 visas should receive reparations. A lot to unpack there. A lot to unpack there. Part of the thing is that obviously reparations have been in the news a lot, and it's been discussed over and over as like how you make right. And I've heard the arguments for and against it, with generally a lot of people saying that well, I did not cause that, so I should not be punished for that. Yeah, but we can get into that another day. But to use the term reparations to kind of co opt that term for Americans, first of all, I wonder how many people actually would agree to something like that, because there's really stiff resistance to any kind of reparations for African Americans. So I'm just wondering, would people be cool with reparations basically from to Americans who lost jobs to immigrants? And take it a step further, would people be cool with African American tech workers who lost jobs? Should they receive reparations? I mean, obviously, I would say Americans is included in there, but we're in such a cultural society that sometimes you have to say what the ethnicity is before the American part. So I just I thought that was really interesting, and this is with Steve Bannon going to war with basically Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy over the H-1B visas debate. And I believe even Elon saying that this is a hill that he's willing to die on, that basically he cannot get really good qualified American people to fill these types of needs, and that as Vivek says, Americans are just plain lazy, like to sit on the couch, like to cheer for the king and queen of the high school, or the prom king and queen, rather than the Urkels or the nerdy geniuses. So I just thought the whole reparations, throwing that into there, was a very interesting choice of words. And so honestly, I don't think it's gonna go anywhere, but I had to ask. I mean, I really did have to ask. Do you think people would actually go for that? Because again, it seems to be a sore subject when it's in the context of African Americans. And so maybe one day I'll do a whole reparation video, and it's probably one of those subjects where I have to do in part, because I do have some views on it. I do think there's some legitimate ways that reparations can be repaid, but at the same point in time, you know, that has been kind of exclusively set with African Americans in in our country for the slavery. I don't see how he could actually conflate this to losing jobs to immigrants. And so, I would take you back to seeing my previous podcast about is American the new affirmative action, because that's kind of how I viewed this. But this is going to be interesting to see how this unfolds. I'll be watching this. So, again, thank you for watching. This is just my opinion, and you keep watching, I'll keep making. Thank you.